With apologies to my gracious mentor, Liz, I'm going to quote the very first line of my icebreaker that I gave right here, standing in this spot. I am not fully prepared today. So I will be using my notes, and I will explain to you why that is. The structure of my speech is also not fully developed, but as was said in my introduction, this is something I felt was important to share with the group at this particular time. So, on Monday of this week, my stepfather, Rainy Guyette, succumbed to cancer of his esophagus at only 53 years old. And these kinds of moments can lead to a lot of reflection. We look into our past to find fond memories of our loved ones. And we look at what we have now, first to appreciate, but then to ensure protection against further loss. We are reminded that we are mortal and will someday leave others behind. We sift through previous losses for clues on how to manage and get through. So all at once, we have a clear look of where we came from and where we are right now. And we see how much loss that we have survived over time. As if that isn't overwhelming enough, these thoughts also lead to questions. Where are we going? Why are we doing this? And what is our purpose for the time that we have remaining? In searching for answers, I found a TED Talk by Lux Narayan. It's titled, "What I Learned from 2,000 Obituaries," in which he used marketing and data analysis to find patterns in the New York Times obituaries. And using the headlines and the first paragraph from each, he found one major commonality between famous people and non-famous people alike. So what was the primary quality or word that people are remembered for? It was help. These people impacted others by helping, by providing service to others. Rainey was a military man, and he served as a sergeant for the National Guard, 3rd Battalion, 197th Field Artillery Regiment, which is right over by the Burger King, is the headquarters for that. He served his country through artillery training in support of our armed forces, and at home he taught me simple skills and major life lessons. What I remember most about Rainey was his guidance and his help. Before I was 19, I lost both of my grandparents on my mother's side of the family. And at the time that my grandfather passed, when I was just a sophomore, I had never been to a funeral before. I had never lost anyone close to me in such a permanent and final manner. Rainey was the man who was able to comfort me the most at that time. Because my mother was deeply suffering at the loss of her parent, I was so fortunate to have him in my life because he became a source of stability and comfort. His example taught me a great deal about helping others in times of need, and he gave these great, fully enveloping, giant, strong hugs. And even though he too was impacted by that same loss, he was still able to find the strength to help others. Though I'm still learning to cope with this experience, I would like to share with you a few things that I have explored in this process over the last couple of days. Loss brings us grief, but it can also provide psychological lessons. As Viktor Frankl summarizes in Man's Search for Meaning, forces beyond your control can take away everything you possess except one thing: your freedom to choose how you will respond to the situation. I wanted to stay home tonight. I wanted to remain in my sweatpants for the foreseeable future. Yet I also felt that this was an opportunity to demonstrate that no matter what your circumstances are, you can choose to live with purpose and to live your values. If you don't know what your values are, Toastmasters has a starter kit for you. They are respect, integrity, service, and commitment to excellence. This kind of value and meaning is integral to leading a good life, and it is why we get up in the morning. It is why we delay gratification. It's why we do things like join Toastmasters to develop our skills. Nietzsche said, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how." And I've been looking at my why as well as my how in recent days. And what I've discovered is that I believe my purpose is to lead and to help others in whatever capacity that I can, whether it's by giving hugs and supporting others in their loss, or by persevering through my own difficult circumstances. I'm grateful for the opportunity to share my story with you, and for Toastmasters for giving me the skills to do so. And I challenge you to consider how you would like to be remembered.